how to reskin the tower source code. It's pretty simple, really straightforward, probably one of the easiest reskins you'll do. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we do is go ahead and extract the tower's source code folder onto your desktop. And we're going to open up this folder. And you see you have an assets folder, which has all of the graphics, the font, the graphics, and the sounds. And then you have documentation here, which you probably won't be using because you have this video. And I like doing video documentation. It's a lot easier to do than actually clicking or following a written documentation. So first thing we want to do is we need to go ahead and import. Well, actually, no. First thing to do is you need to make sure you have Eclipse installed. As you see here, I already have it installed. So you need to download Eclipse and have that installed on your computer or your MacBook or Windows machine. And the next thing we want to do is install the Android SDK and the Android plugin for Eclipse. And if you don't know how to do that, just simply Google it. You should find instructions on how to set it up and get it done. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing to do is you need to install something called Gradle. And Gradle is basically something used to manage our projects, which makes it a lot easier to update the engine that's the game's built with and keep track of changes and that sort of thing. So what we want to do is we need to go to project, and actually the first thing we do is open up the documentation. And inside the documentation, you should see a link. And the link should be right here. And you want to go ahead and copy this link. You can right click and actually just select the whole thing and hit copy and exit. And then you want to go back to Eclipse and you want to go to help and you want to go to install new software. And when the screen comes up, you're going to simply do add, and then you're going to do Control V and make sure everything is removed. And then you want to do Gradle. Just call it Gradle and hit OK. And now you're going to see some options pop up here. And you basically want to click the Gradle IDE here and then just hit next and install it. And then you're going to need to restart Eclipse. I'm not going to install it with you. It's pretty straightforward. You just pretty much hit next and install it, and then it's done. So once that's done and you have restarted Eclipse, you then want to do file and you're going to do import, and you're going to go to Gradle and Gradle project, next, and you're going to do browse, and then you're going to go to your desktop and go to the towers source code folder, and you want to go to the source and just click the source and hit open, and then you want to hit build model. And this may take a few minutes, so just bear with me. All right, and once that's complete, now you can go ahead and import everything. So just go ahead and click each folder here and go ahead and hit finish. All right, and as you see here, we have some errors. So we have errors because basically we're missing a project, and the project we're missing is the Google Play Game Services, which is what we use for advertisement. So to get that, what you need to simply do is go to your SDK here, your SDK manager, and you're going to go to the, as soon as it comes up. All right, when it comes up, you're going to make sure you have the Android tools all updated and installed. Make sure that you have the latest Android version, API, have all that stuff good and installed. So you're going to go down to extras and you're going to hit Google uh, Google Play Services here, and then you're just going to hit install packages, and then it's going to install it into a directory, your directory here, wherever you put your Android SDK, it's going to put it there. So to access it, what we need to do is we need to go to File and Import, and we need to do Android and go to Next, Browse, and we're going to go to our Documents where I put my Android SDK, and then you're going to go to SDK folder, and you're going to go to Extras, Google Play Services, and then Library Project, and then Google Play Services lib, and hit Open and Finish. And we're going to import that into our library, and we should see the Towers Android error go right here, go away. And we still have an error, so let's see what the error is. So yeah, so now what you need to do is you need to just right click on here and go to Properties, and you need to go to Android, and you need to remove this line here and hit Add, and then Google Play Services and hit OK, and Apply and hit OK, and then that should fix the errors. Alright, so the error is fixed now. We're good to go. The desktop project here, we can just, I'll go ahead and fix it now. So by the time you actually use it, it will be fixed. This is basically just, this is just the desktop version, which you can use to test it. It's a little stupid error. Implements, add controller, and pass this. And let's import this really quickly. Import the add controller and add input method. And there we go. All right. So, and save it. Or not. Maybe it doesn't want to do it correctly. Yeah, so basically, you don't really need the desktop version actually. So, a matter of fact, when you actually download the game, you probably won't even see it. So, if you do, if it's still there, just simply just right click and hit delete. You don't really need that. That's just basically something that comes with the engine because it's multi-platform. You don't really need it. Uh, so now we see that everything's good to go. We have our Android project here, and we can actually play it if we want to. So to reskin the game is pretty simple. The advertisement, if you want to change up the, if you want to change your ad mob ID, here's the banner ad here. So simply open this class, Android launcher, and change this line with the banner ID. And then below it, you should see the interstitial ID, and you want to change that with your interstitial ID from AdMob. And you're all done for the advertising. For the assets or the graphics, you simply just want to go to the assets folder, and all you need to do is have your graphic designer replace all of these graphics here, all the images, have them go through and replace all of the graphics you see here. We don't need this button. So just have them go through and delete all of these. I'm removing these because we don't need these. These are from the demo project, so I'm just doing some cleanup here as well. Excuse me. Hope you guys don't mind. Clean up, delete. All right, there we go. So basically, you just want to have them go through and replace all these graphics. Pretty easy to do. Here are the slabs, have him replace those, and then the game's pretty much reskinned. Make sure he makes all the graphics, he or she makes the graphics the same size, the same dimensions as they appear in the assets folder here, the images folder here. Sounds, you can actually replace the sounds if you want with Wave, so you see the names, so you can just replace those with whatever you want. Fonts, you can change those if you want to. I would just leave them the same. And you're pretty much done. The game's then ready to be reskinned and published. So there you go. That's how to reskin the Towers Android source code. Hope this helped you and hope you enjoy the source code.